I gave you is talking about the uses. It doesn't have techniques in it, because I felt that, you know, you can find out techniques from lots of things, but this is more information about the actual materials. Now, bring out these things. This is the little mat that you can wave. If you want to make little mats, I made this on the frame that you saw, on the tapestry frame, and you know, I mean, you can probably buy them for 10 cents each if you go to the dollar store and get one made in Korea. But this is made by real Canadian rushes, fine ones. They might have been cattails too. That was that. Now this is the little basket. I thought we'd make a little basket like this, which is quite fun. And it takes, I forgot to write this in my thing, so I bought lots. My husband thought I was giving it all away. I said, no, I'm not giving it away, I'm just taking it. That is made over this shape. And so you can put your tea bags in there. You know, the tea bags can sit. So that was the little basket we were going to make. And I think perhaps we'll start with that. There's the little mats that we make, and this is diagonal. It's a different technique, and this is what we're going to use, the styrofoam. It's a very interesting technique, very easy to make, but there are a few secrets. And then, darn it, oh, here we are. You can turn this into this. This is what we call plating or platting, and that technique becomes that sort of a basket. If you look at the bottom, that's actually a mat, but instead of stopping, it goes on up. So that's the plating technique, which I thought we'd look at. You know, you can do whatever you like. You don't have to do this. These are the ducks. I think these ducks are great fun. This was my invention. Of course, I never quite do what I'm told. But these are decoy ducks, and they were made by the native people, I presume, to attract other ducks. So that some duck would come flying down and say, oh, you know, who's on my lake? And they'd find one of these. Anyway, they were made as decoys. And they're quite interesting because you actually you make this, and it bends round, and then you bend this bit round here. It's quite a clever technique, actually. You can look at it, you've all got your things. I made wings on mine because I want to be different. But, you know, you can do whatever you like. We've got the ducks, and then the little baby ducks are great fun. These are made for children, and I can just show you how to make those. It's great fun to do these if you go to a fair or something, because they just really bandage it up, and they have a little duck. And I'm sorry, I thought I did this, and I might phone my husband. I made some copies of this morning, and I honestly left them on the table. But if you make one of those, you'll make it in about 5 minutes. But they apparently were made by the native children, and they used to swim them in the pond. That was sort of fun.
So the ducks float? Is that what
Oh yes, they're very floaty. Yes. I imagine they finally sink. But you know, I'll get waterlogged. This one is made of rushes, and I don't know that we'll make this today. This is a different technique, and I don't think we can do too many techniques. I thought we'd look at this technique first, and then we would look perhaps at this technique, or we can go into a doll. A doll is very easy. I wanted to show you how to make cordage, which is something that you twist and you make string. And I thought we could use the daylily leaves. I was very worried about how we were going to do this because you really need something to hold it against. And Nancy had this brilliant idea that we'd turn a chair upside down on the table and we'd make cordage. Cordage is quite fun. I think we all have a genetic memory for this because in the old days they would have made masses and masses of cordage, because it would have been tying things. They would make cordage and then make cordage of cordage. They'd make their suspension bridges in the desert or in the hot steamy jungles, and everything would be done this way. So I wanted to show you how to make cordage because it's quite nice to use for various things. And we've got some cordage on here and some cordage on here.
Or trim, do you mean?
Or trim, or anything. But you can do this with cattails, and you can also do it with daylilies. And daylilies will look, we've got them outside here. You'll find if you get them and dry them at different times of the year, they will come different colours. So if you collect them when they're really brown and old, they'll be brown and old. If you collect them when they're orange, they'll be orange. If you collect them early and let them dry, they'll be a lighter colour. And I had somebody once in one of my classes who was absolutely sold on this. She'd spend every evening making cordage. She made a beautiful basket, a rib basket, with all, she had the colours going. So, you know, you need patience and you need a small basket.
There has to be something kind of meditative about it too.
Well, there is very meditative. It's very nice to do it. And that's why I think we have a genetic memory. Because I love doing it. It's a bit like spinning. You know, it sort of goes on and on and on. And this is fun. So we'll be doing that. So I think perhaps as we should definitely get started. How does everybody feel about making one of these?
Excited.
Is that okay? Would everybody like to start? So I think I'm going to put these back now so that I don't have to deal with them.